The Marvel Universe jump-started with the creation of Spider-Man as the main character in the original comics. And in light of that, tons of movie adaptations were made, telling us various versions of our friendly neighborhood hero. But what you don't know is that these movies actually hold so much depth, deeper than what you see on the surface. And guess what? It's really not your typical superhero movie. Welcome to the Quantum Wealth, where the road to success begins. Before starting with the video, please like and subscribe to the channel and comment below your thoughts for today's video. But before we pierce right through the gist, I would just like to give you a little disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, so better take all my advice with a pinch of salt and take only what can be applied to you. I do my very best in telling you the latest information in terms of financial management. But if you're experiencing serious problems, that is the time to seek out services by professionals and experts to help you out with what you're facing. So what is it about Spider-Man that uncovers a few of the most effective secrets in the world of money making? Well, that's what we're going to discuss today in this video right now. To start off, Mary Jane is a character who has a deep sense of innocence, thus contributing to her kind and good heart. This is her main quality that catapulted her into stardom as Peter Parker's aka Spider-Man's love interest. Not only Peter Parker, but we as the audience also grew to love Mary Jane, as she became one of the world's best on-screen sweethearts in the history of cinema. With this said, this is actually a pretty decent quality to work your way up to financial success. You have probably heard of the saying that goes, "No man is an island." This is highly applicable in the world of finance, as you are going to need all the help that you can get for you to succeed in the end. A pure heart with good intentions will ultimately lead you to forming deep connections and meaningful relations to other people. This will then create a bond between you and that person where you guys help each other and just work hand in hand together to attain victory in whatever you do. Much like Mary Jane, her big heart led her to the hands of our main hero as they fell in love with each other. And not to mention, the whole world fell in love with that too. Second, Harry Osborn. Some of the newer fans may not be aware of this character. That is, if you're only exposed to the new Spider-Man movies, or pretty much the MCU Spider-Man in the form of Tom Holland. While Harry Osborn takes form in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, he didn't make that much impact as the one in the original trilogy. With that said, we are going to focus on that Harry Osborn. He is the son of one of Spider-Man's greatest enemies, the Green Goblin, yet at the same time, he is Peter Parker's best friend. When the Green Goblin had vanished and Harry knew of Peter's identity as the Spider-Man, he ultimately went berserk and sought revenge against our hero. In light of this, their friendship came to an end and Harry became a villain in our eyes and to Peter's. And I almost forgot, they also fought for the movie's sweetheart Mary Jane, but let's just set that aside for now. Anyway, Harry was a villain. Yet in the end of the movie, he helped Spider-Man defeat the main antagonist of the film. This is what we call redemption. Harry knew he did wrong by pursuing to seek revenge fueled by anger and heated passion. But what's important is how he managed to overcome these deadly emotions and turn it into something bright, something wonderful. Similarly, this should be a trait that needs to be possessed by entrepreneurs and everyone who seeks proper financial management. When you know you made a mistake, you do not beat yourself to the ground, yet rise above the pedestal and redeem yourself to do more good. Much like Harry, once we redeem ourselves, we can become a hero in our own ways. The next trait I want to tell you all about is love. And who better to manifest that in the film than Flint Marko, aka the Sandman. We are introduced to Sandman when he was a prisoner that set himself free through escaping out his cell. Once he got out, the first thing that came into his mind was his daughter, as he pretty much wants to be with her. This is an exemplary quality shown by a villain as it reveals a different side of him that allows us to understand him better. The Sandman only dealt with being a villain because he was left with no other choice. But overall, he was heavily driven by love, and much like Harry, he also redeemed himself in the end. Love may be a vague term to describe something in general. However, it is definitely a factor that drives us to do better and better. A good mindset involves the inclusion of love in everything that we do. We must always grow to love our work as well as the art of what we are doing. This will then lead us to further production of better results and ultimately be successful. Lastly, we can never talk about Spider-Man as a movie without the name bearer himself. Where do I really start with talking about Spider-Man's character? Well, he is an excellent and intelligent student by day and our friendly neighborhood hero at night. That's really a huge weight to carry for just a single person, yet somehow he still managed to fulfill both roles with all his might. This is generally the greatest trait to harness for everyone in the hopes to attain utter success and genuine satisfaction. No matter what life throws at us, we must always ensure to make the best out of everything and not just merely do stuff for the sake of doing them. Instead, we perform all of our tasks with utmost competence and excellence, aiming for perfection. The passion to succeed will always be more than enough to lead us to greater heights and eventually lead us to a better state in life in all its aspects. Overall, Spider-Man is always a fun movie to watch with all of the action, romance, and the friendship that we get to witness firsthand. And after this video, you are not going to look at Spider-Man the same way as you now discovered the hidden messages in the movie. The future is all in your hands. That wraps up today's video. We hope you find this video helpful, and if you like today's video, please like and subscribe to the channel. See you at the next one.